So hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So a general question that should arise in everyone's mind when we talk about the IT companies is like, what kind of IT companies do we have in India? A majority of the companies that we see which go for the bulk campus recruitment, they are mostly the service-based companies. So these are the companies which are the service providers, and they are the service providers because they work for their customers. So they do not have their own products. They provide the services to their end customers. For example, the TCS provides services to Passport Seva. TCS provides services to IRCTC, and so they do not have their software of their own, but they do make software for their customers. So such companies which are service providers, they are the service based companies. However, we also see a larger part of companies in India which are product based, like Microsoft, Google, Cisco, Yahoo, and others. So these companies, they are not service providers, as they do not provide any services. They have their own product, and they create those products based on the intellectual property and then sell it to the end users. The end users have to pay some money in order to buy these products. So such companies, they are known as the product based companies. And also we see a larger space of companies in IT industry which are neither the service based or nor the product based. They are into either the e-commerce space, or they are either into or they are either into the retail space. So a lot of these companies, they are neither the service based nor the product based. So before I go through the further slides, let me just make a disclaimer here that what I'm going to share today is not absolutely relevant to computer science engineering students. My objective for this session is to help each and every student here to get an idea how you can make your own path to get placed into IT companies. And that's what I'm trying to set the fundamentals here. So the objective here is to make you understand the kind of companies that we see into IT industry. Yeah. So now another question that should arise in one's mind is like, what are the typical skills that can lead to the growth in IT industry, and not just the growth, but for any new joiner or a new student who is aspiring to get into the IT industry. What are the skills one should achieve, and is it anywhere relevant that when somebody is a computer science engineering student, then are they the only eligible one to get into the IT? Can a mechanical engineering or the electrical engineering student be into the IT industry through these skills? The answer is yes. So all of the branches, whether you belong to any particular branch or not, if you are just an engineering graduate, that should be good enough and makes you an eligible candidate to get into the IT industry, because once you get there, you start from all fresh. So a lot of job postings that we see these days are from these skills, and I've got this based on the ranking that we see. So like you see, Python is in great demand. C, Java, C++, and C#. These top 5 languages, trust me, they are in pretty demand and can get anyone the right job into IT industry. So here is this spectrum rating for them, and you can at least be very familiar with their names at an initial level, and then we would be talking about how we should proceed further in order to learn them. So you can see here. So I have got this process that can help any individual to get into the IT industry, and we are going to follow this process step by step today, where I'm going to explain you how you can go through all these steps with a major objective to get placed, right? And this particular process is not just specific for the final year students or the pre-final year students. Even the first year or the second year students can also follow this process in order to make them capable of getting into the IT industry, right? So let us start with this. So in order for somebody to get into the IT industry, it is very important to analyze the right stream. So here, the step one for any student should be to analyze the right technical stream, may it be the Java, the .NET, the Python, the database, what we have seen in the previous slide. So analyzing the right technical stream is pretty important for somebody to think on IT industry, right? So that is the first step one should think about. Now the question here is how one can think of the right technical stream. So I have already shown this previous slide, and we can see the skills which are there based on the job postings. So this can help us to identify which are the right skills one must learn in order to get placed. The second step one should follow is like identifying the demand in the industry. So one can visit Naukri.com or any other job portals and see what are the skills required. So let me just take you to Naukri.com. And let's say you are willing to start your career in Python, and you are a very new joiner. You absolutely do not know what to start with. You are a mechanical engineering student, but you aspire to be a software engineer. So how do you start with? So here, the first thing that you should do is you should type a skill, say Python, and search for the jobs. The moment you search for the jobs, you would see a lot of job postings here, and we can see. So let's say I'm going to click on any particular Python job that I see here. So I have searched with Python, and I'm going to click on this Python developer. So this is not relevant 9 to 14 years. What we are looking at is So what we are looking at is we are looking for the experience range from 0 to 1 year. So we can type Python, and this is good enough. Do they have any filters? So you can look for more filters. And then you can look for any job openings that you see. Let's say this one. And then one has to open the notepad and identify the key areas like Python, NumPy, Pandas, and similarly you can open a few more job openings. So like Python developer, and you can search. So you can see here Python developer 2 to 4 years of experience, or even 0 to 2 years of experience you can look for and can see what are the skills which are in demand for Python developers. So you can put it in your notepad, the Python, the TensorFlow, and all of these. So that's the second step, visiting the naukri.com and look for the jobs for that skill and identifying the right skill set, right? So once you identify your right skill set, what gets very important for you is to understand whether you are able to learn those skills from YouTube or any learning portals or not. So so we have identified that Python, TensorFlow, and other skills, they are relevant for getting job in Python. And similarly, in case if you are interested into some other stream, let's say you are not interested into learning Python, being a mechanical engineer, but you hold a greater interest into C#, and you wish to be the C# .NET developer. So that also can be fairly possible, wherein you are looking for the right skills, and you can look for the experience range like 0 to 2 years, and then we can look for the skills here. So you can see some good skills like ASP.NET, MVC, MVVM, C#, SQL. So these skills may be pretty new to you. Like you may not be knowing what these skills are, but you can put them on your notepad. And then you can start searching about them on web and YouTube tutorial. And then you would see that you have a lot of good tutorials available on YouTube that can help you learn this particular technology. And trust me, the amount of time that we invest in listening to news or watching movies, the same amount of time, if we invest in learning these skills, they are not going to take much of your time, first of all. You can just learn them in maybe a couple of days or couple of weeks. They are not going to take much of your time because all these courses, they are not beyond couple of hours or 5 hours for every skill. So you can learn from them. Like you see, there are some very good authors available. There are very good authors available that which make you learn some very good skills. It is just that you have all these all of these tutorials available. So let us move to the slide and understand what are the next steps. So the first step, which I have told you, is to analyze your right technical stream. Second step is to visit the naukri.com and identify which are the list of skills that belong to that tech stream which can get you the right job. The third step that one should follow is identify those courses on YouTube, and one can even follow websites like the Code Project or Stack Overflow. And then there are a few websites that can help you to practice your coding, and that can those websites can even help you get hired. So HackerEarth is one website which helps individuals to get hired. And trust me, when somebody does not get placed in campus placement, it doesn't mean the end of life. There are a lot of websites and companies available these days which help the individuals to get hired. So HackerEarth is one of them. They hire the developers based on their learning. So you can just try to visit them, and they keep conducting these online coding interviews, which can help the individuals to practice the coding, right? Couple of months back, before this COVID situation, the HackerEarth also used to bring the challenges here. And trust me, I have seen a lot of people cracking these coding competitions and getting hired. And you can see one live example here. So there is a hiring challenge from AutoRabbit, and one can start this exam. And if you pass it, you can get a package of 8 to 13 LPA. So HackerEarth is one very trusted platform that can get the individuals get hired, get placed, and that too based on simple learning which you can do from your home. So you can look for these learning challenges. So you can see AutoRabbit is hiring for freshers, and what they are offering is a CPC of 8 to 13 LPA. They are looking for software developers Java, and they look for people who have any of these degrees. And what they only expect is you be good at algorithms, Java, and all of this.
English coaching there. Sir, can you mute all the students? Actually, some
Sure.
students are interrupting.
Is that fine? Okay, I think it is fine. So this is a pretty nice platform where I have seen some of my friends getting placed into IT companies through HackerEarth, and it is not up to, just trust me that it is not up to the college for getting you placed all the time. What the role of college here is just to provide you the right knowledge, right fundamentals, and then it is up to you to nourish yourself and learn, upskill, and go through these forums where you can challenge yourself in order to get the right placements. So at occasions, what happens is the university, when they go for the campus placement, a lot of students, not everybody get placed. In a university level, like the RGPV level, if 100 students are appearing, only 20 may get placed, 80 may not. But as I'm saying, that does not mean the end of life. You have a lot of resources available on YouTube, on certain websites, and there are forums available like HackerEarth, and I have also mentioned here, and I'm going to share this PPT also, like HackerRank, CodeChef, where you can challenge yourself and can keep upskilling. The next objective here is, so once you challenge yourself and visit these websites, maybe you can get hired. And in case you do not get hired, nothing to worry about. You should be able to make a good, nice resume on yourself, mentioning about the right skills, and then you can post it on Naukri.com. So let me just show you how my Naukri profile looks like. So trust me, I started with pretty low in IT industry, but like when I started, it was like around 3 LPA was what I was getting from Emphasis and HP company. But I kept on learning from these resources like YouTube, the Code Project, and others. And today, I have a pretty decent earning from IT industry. So the right area is you prepare your right profile. So I haven't updated since long time. I've recently moved to a new company called EPAM, as I said. I happen to be in TCS earlier. So, but the most important part is here on the Naukri.com, one should be able to uh, um, identify the skills which they have learned from YouTube. So, like these are the skills that I learned, I practiced, and I mentioned them on the Naukri profile. So, this is what the recruiters look for. So, when the companies they have to identify some candidates for their openings, they do not search those candidates by their name. They always search the candidates by their skills, and this is a very important part for anybody to understand. The skills that we place here, there are more higher chances for somebody to get placed. So this is one very important point one should know. So second is your education. You can understand, you can place your education here. You may be doing some minor or major projects during your engineering. You can place them here, and you can attach some resume and can place them here. So I haven't updated since long time, so you can see here. So these particular steps are pretty important for anybody to go through. So here I have mentioned all the Java full stack technologies if somebody is aspiring to be a Java developer. And here I have
सौरभ जी मैं रोकना चाहूंगा जैसे टाइम खत्म होगा तो सभी स्टूडेंट्स और फैकल्टी मेंबर्स को री लॉगिन करना पड़ेगा सौरभ सर अपन सेशन कंप्लीट होने के बाद री लॉगिन करेंगे
श्योर सर
ओके थैंक यू
So I'm going to take you through these steps in detail now, and you can see here. So let's say somebody is an electrical engineer and doesn't know what to start with. So though I have already framed all these steps which can help an individual to go through the right path, but in case you are following the Java stream or the .NET stream, so one must know that in Java stack of technologies, there are multiple technologies one has to learn. But these technologies do not take much time. You can learn them in 1 week or maximum 1 month of time from YouTube. So looks like we'll be rejoining. So I'll stop sharing for the time being and we'll rejoin.
Okay, I request to all the students, please rejoin the session again because time is going down.
ठीक है नितिन सर।
Okay. Saurabh sir, are you able to share screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me just start and share my screen. आपको मुझे होस्ट देना पड़ेगा.
Okay. Okay, now assigned it.
Are there any questions so far?
स्टूडेंट्स कोई भी क्वेश्चन है आप पूछ सकते हैं, अपने घर के ही मेंबर हैं ये सौरभ जी।
Okay, so
सुन लें।
जी सर।
Okay.
If anyone has any question, just feel free to ask. I feel that no question is silly. आप पूछ सकते हैं आपको मन में जो भी क्वेश्चन आए.
Any computer science student raise your question? Because I think there is so many questions of student, but students are not asking.
भाई अंशुल पांडे क्या है, पूछे क्वेश्चंस।
So if somebody, sure sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I'm Anshul Pandey of VNS 6th semester. So my question is, what are the basic qualities one should adopt to clear such interviews for the companies?
Okay, that's a good question. So let me just answer that. One very important thing that is required for anybody to get placed is definitely the skill. So that's why I have been focusing a lot on the skill, and one must identify the right skill or the right tech stream which they want to get into. So that's one important thing. Second important thing is your communication. Communication is pretty important for anybody to start the career in IT with, because what happens is in the day-to-day life of IT professional, one has to have meeting with different customers from different geographies, and in order to communicate with them, one has to have good communication skills. But it doesn't mean that if somebody who belongs to a family which doesn't have any background of English speaking cannot uplift himself. Trust me, I also come from a very mediocre family, and how I have improved myself when I was in college was like, I used to stand before the mirror and used to speak, used to imitate the different narrators, different orators, and that is how I have learned. And over the years, I have learned from YouTube, which has been the great source of learning. During my time in the year 2011, there happened to be a lot of coaching institutes that used to take a lot of hefty amount of money. But I feel that in this time that we have, 2020, one need not spend any money going into the coaching institutes. You have all the resources available with you. You have the YouTube, you have your smartphone. That is good enough fairly for one to learn, whether it be the communication or the right skills. And these things, they may not consume a lot of your time. You just need to focus hardly an hour a day, and you can get through and can upskill yourself. So going forward, I have a few slides, and I'm pretty sure they are going to answer a lot of some general questions. Yeah, thank you. So let's say if somebody is aspiring to be a Java developer at a very initial level, then I have got these list of technologies which one can search on YouTube and can learn. So let us see how much time it takes for somebody to learn CSS and HTML. I'm typing CSS full course video, and you can see CSS 0 to hero, and it's a full complete course, and it takes hardly 6 hours 18 minutes. So if you're going through such videos, you can prepare your own notes and can go through the video, and those notes will help you during your interviews. Similarly, there are some other tutorials that can help you learn CSS in a couple of hours or maybe less. And similarly, you can identify some more technologies from here. So let's say core Java, and you can see there is a full course available in Java around 9 hours, and somebody has posted this course also. This is from Edureka, and it's a pretty good course of around 10 hours. So this is also pretty much nice learning which can be offered to students, and they need not go to any coaching. They can just learn these skills from YouTube. So in half a day of time, you can learn Java with notes, you can learn CSS, and that's how you prepare your checklist, and that's how you prepare a list which can be mentioned on the naukri.com, and that can be mentioned on your profile. So similarly, I have noted down all the important technologies which can help an individual learn the .NET tech stream. So .NET tech stream is not just about .NET, it is about C#, it is about WPF. So this technology is used to build the desktop applications which can be installed on the user machine. ASP.NET MVC is used to build the web application that can run on browsers like Chrome or Edge. JavaScript is used for the web applications. Azure is used for the cloud-based applications. So .NET tech stack includes all these technologies which one can learn from. Again, YouTube is the right source, trust me. And I have been doing a lot of learning from YouTube. Similarly, these are the major technologies from the Java stack. If anybody is looking forward to make a career into the JavaScript, then these are the technologies like front-end technologies, the back-end technologies, and the database technologies. So when an application is built, the UI, the user interface, the look and feel, that is all the front end. The major business logic, it is all the back end. The place where the data is stored, that is the database. So a full stack developer is the one who has complete knowledge of building the Windows, web, and cloud-based applications. So you can see here, this is what the JavaScript. So if anybody is aspiring to be the JavaScript developer, they should pick these technologies, search on YouTube, complete the course, make the notes, and put it on your Naukri profile and put it on your resume. That is the right way of aspiring for a software developer. So this is the JavaScript. And this I have brought for the Python full stack. I think CSS and HTML is pretty common for Java, .NET, or Python, so you can learn them. They are pretty important. JavaScript also, you can identify some pretty good courses on YouTube. So like you just need to type JavaScript full course, and you can see you can learn JavaScript in 3 hours with some practical live examples, or you can learn them from Edureka. and you can also prepare notes, and they should be good enough to qualify an interview at a fresher level, right? So, and similarly, you can go through these technologies and you can learn them, like the Django full course. So one pretty interesting thing that we see here is all of these courses, they are not more than 10 hours, which means that every skill you can learn in a day of time with proper notes. And in order to prepare a skill set for a tech stream, you can do it in less than a month of time with proper notes. So that's a pretty interesting thing for any fresher who's aspiring to look into the IT and follow these tech streams. But before looking at the tech streams, the important thing is you need to identify which tech stream you want to get into. Ensure that you do not get a mix. Somebody who's aspiring for Java should completely focus on Java at an initial level. And my personal advice would be then not to look at .NET. If somebody is looking at .NET, then they should not be looking at Java, because .NET tech stream is has all these wide range of technologies where one has to focus on, right? So now here I have noted all the right places where one can go into. So you can see here the Hacker Rank. This is the place where the students can take the coding challenges. These coding challenges should be taken after preparing all the notes and doing all the learning. You can also visit learncode.academy. It's a pretty good source that can help you with free learning. You can learn end-to-end Java, end-to-end .NET, end-to-end JavaScript, all of that from this particular YouTube channel or the website. Free Code Camp is another very important YouTube channel and even the website that offers free end-to-end courses with live examples. Edureka, Questpon, Geek for Geeks. So these are pretty good sources which I have been referring over the past 8 years. And trust me, I initially started as just a C# developer, and then I increased my skill from C# to the full .NET, MVVM, and other technologies, and now I am a full stack developer. A full stack developer, as I said, is the one who can help in building the web, Windows, or cloud-based applications. So this is one.
सौरभ मैं रोकना चाहूंगा
जी सर.
जैसे आपको कंप्यूटर साइंस के अलावा डिफरेंट ब्रांच के बच्चे सुन रहे हैं, जैसे मैकेनिकल है, सिविल है, इलेक्ट्रिकल है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स है, और माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग के भी स्टूडेंट्स आपको सुन रहे हैं. तो ये स्टूडेंट्स यदि आप आईटी इंडस्ट्रीज में स्विच करना चाहें तो ये आपके जो स्टेप्स दिए हैं इनको फॉलो करके वो आईटी इंडस्ट्रीज में जॉब्स को क्रैक कर सकते हैं, ऐसा?
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल. तो मैं यही कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये जो स्टेप्स हैं ये केवल कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स के लिए नहीं है. ये स्टेप्स सभी ब्रांचेस के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हैं और उनको इन स्टेप्स को फॉलो करना है और इन राइट रिसोर्सेस पे जाकर अपनी लर्निंग करनी है. और ये स्टेप टू स्टेप अगर फॉलो करें तो definitely they can easily get good opportunities in IT industry, and despite getting placed in campus or not, that's absolutely a different area. As I said, when there are campus drives, hardly 20 students out of 100 they get selected. 80 of them do not get selected, but that does not mean the end of life. A lot of professionals I see, they prepare on the skills and then they appear for interviews, and these are the right steps one can follow.
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. तो ये सभी बच्चों के लिए है. दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स, ब्रांच के स्टूडेंट भी सुने सौरभ जी को और उससे प्रेरणा लें. जी आगे चलें.
So another important part here, like as I said, is there are a lot of good websites available which can help the individuals to get placed. So if somebody is not getting placed in the college campus or the university campus, nothing to worry about, no need to disappoint. You just need to upskill yourself from YouTube and other areas, all these websites, and then you need to appear on the coding challenges on these websites. So I have already shown you this particular website like HackerEarth. Let me also take you to Upwork. So Upwork is a pretty good platform that offers individual to showcase their skills. And you see here, there are always people who look for developers who are always in demand. So like somebody is looking for a developer who can build a website for the jewelry work, and they are ready to pay some money, and they look for some skills, and those skills can be learned from the different sources which I have mentioned in the previous slides. So Upwork is another good platform where that can help an individual to get hired. HackerRank is definitely the one that is a very trusted source. And the another important thing to note here is there is no age to get into these skills. There is absolutely no age. Whether like even a first year engineering student can start working as a on Upwork on a weekend basis, like Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday basis. That will be a good part of your learning that will help you to improve your skills. So now here I have brought some good learning websites. So you can see here Code Project, Stack Overflow, Medium.com, dzone, and GitHub. They are pretty good sources that can help an individual to learn. So let me just show you. I'll say WPF application code project, or let's be pretty simple here. So I will just type code project. So Code Project is one pretty good websites which are followed by IT professionals. We in software companies also do a lot of learning from these websites that I have mentioned here in this slide. We, the software professionals, also do a lot of learning from these sources, and I'm sharing all these sources with you all so that being the student, you can also follow them and can be in the advantage. So here, a lot of these articles, they even carry small projects, and they detail in brief how the application works. So like for example, I clicked on this, and you can see in this article the developer wants to explain something, and these articles can be pretty helpful for an individual to gain an advantage on the skill. So that's the another important area. And then the most important part is how do you build your CV? That is another part which is often that often catches the attention from the companies. So building the right CV is pretty important, and I have shown this CV here, and you see how well organized the CV is. So you have all the contact details, you have the name of the person, what the person aspires to be. For the students, I'm pretty sure like they would not be any work experience, but in this area you can demonstrate your major and minor projects. You can describe your education, your achievements, your language, your interest, and this is the part which is very, very important, that is the skills. So all the skills which I have mentioned in my previous slides, all those skills can be mentioned here in this particular CV in this particular manner, and then you can post it on the Naukri.com, the Monster.com, the LinkedIn, Stack Overflow. So I have mentioned all those sources. Let me just take you there. Okay, here it is. So yeah, so you can see here in the step 5, I have mentioned that you can build your very nice CV based on the skills, and there's a website called as novoresumebuilder.com that can help you to build your right CV. So like you can see here, this particular CV is also built from novoresume.com. It's one of our website that helps the individuals to build the right CVs. And once you build it, you can post your profile on Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, Stack Overflow with all the highlighted skills. So trust me, again, I am saying not specific to the computer science engineering graduates. Lot of my colleagues, they are either from electrical engineer or from mechanical or from electronics background. So all these skills, they are not relevant to any particular engineering branch, and any engineering graduate can follow these steps in order to get placed into the IT companies and getting the right opportunities. Now, have I been the student at your place? I had a few questions, so let me just ask, because somebody's not many people are asking at this moment. So you may be thinking like, how is the typical work culture of an IT companies like? What is the hierarchy? So here is the hierarchy. Like when somebody start their career, they start as a software engineer, they become the senior developer, they become the technical lead, the project manager, the delivery manager, the account manager, the resource manager, and then all these levels. But these hierarchy may differ from companies to companies. In certain companies, these hierarchies may not follow. The hierarchy may be pretty small. So here, like I have got the hierarchy for company TCS, which is a well-known company, and the hierarchy being followed there. But this is not the hierarchy that is followed in other companies. But this gives definitely a very general idea for any new joiner how the hierarchy is. And a typical project team is composed of the developers, the testers, the project manager. Developers are the one who build the application. They troubleshoot the bug fixes. Testers are the one who validate the application built by developers. Project manager is the one who keep a control on the developers and testers uh, uh, in terms of the management. Business analysts are the one who do the requirement gathering. Like you may have studied the different phases of SDLC. So business analysts are the people who are more involved in the requirement and analysis phase. Developers are the one who are more involved in the design and development phase. Testers are the one who are more involved in implementation and the validation phase. So this is how the typical agile model works in IT industry. So there was a time when the companies and the projects, they often used to follow the waterfall model, but most of the work that we see in our day-to-day life today has become agile. So I think I have spoken a lot about all of this, and I'm pretty hopeful that all these slides and the resources which I have shared may be pretty helpful for every individual right here. Just feel free to ask any question if you have. As I said, no question is silly, and I'm here to help you out.
Okay, students, please ask the question to sir. I think he's very great information. So please ask.
कोई झिझक नहीं होनी चाहिए आपके अंदर पूछने में। सौरभ अपने यहाँ के ही आपके सीनियर हैं ऐसा माने, है ना, आपके बड़े भाई हैं, उनसे
Sir,
कोई
can
भी
you
क्वेश्चन
explain-
आप पूछ सकते हैं।
Sir, can you explain Red Hat and AWS? Hello, sir.
Hello, Sourabh sir.
Yeah, sure. So, as I said, like you are asking about the Red Hat in, are you talking about the Linux?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Red Hat is a certification for professionals who are aspiring for areas like Linux or Cisco. So as I've shown in my first slide, there are a handful of companies which are the product-based companies, and they work, and their area is predominantly into the network administration, specifically like the exchange of the data packets. So if anybody is looking forward to make a career into the network administration, they can do the Red Hat certification. But the areas which I have focused on today are specific to the core profiles which we see into the day-to-day lives of the software companies.
Sir, and AWS?
Okay, so that's another very good question. So if somebody is aspiring to be the cloud developer, they can either learn Azure. If they are aspiring for .NET, they should learn Azure. If they are aspiring for Java tech stream, they should learn AWS. Azure and AWS, these are the technologies which help an individual to be the cloud developers. अगर आप एक क्लाउड डेवलपर बनना चाह रहे हैं तो आप AWS सीखिए, और AWS आप YouTube से और दूसरे जो मीडियम्स जो मैंने बताए हैं आप वहां से सीख सकते हैं, और यू कैन पुट ऑन योर प्रोफाइल एज द एस्पायरिंग AWS डेवलपर, और AWS की जो भी स्किल्स जो आपको नौकरी या monster.com से देखने को मिलती हैं आप उन्हें अपनी प्रोफाइल में ऐड कीजिए और अपनी प्रोफाइल पोस्ट कर दीजिए. So AWS can help you to be the cloud developer.
Anyone?
Sir, other than this knowledges and skills, I just want to ask that how is the life in Indian IT industry as a fresher and then as a senior member you are there?
Yeah, so the life of software engineer is a pretty okay, good, and let me just tell you, it is all up to your efforts and learning. So I have seen many of my colleagues and friends who happened to be with me during my first company. मेरे साथ पहली कंपनी में थे और आज भी वो पहली कंपनी में हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने आप को समय के साथ नहीं अपस्किल किया. So it is all up to an individual, how do they upskill themselves, the efforts they put up. So there are people who work into the IT companies to learn. Once they do the learning, they gain the knowledge, they keep moving from one company to another. So that's one important part. The IT company will let you get a life where you would be working for 5 days in a week. You would be having your holiday on Saturday and Sunday. The reason why, because the 5 days are pretty hectic. One has to put a lot of efforts. It may be 9 to 12 hours a job during Monday to Friday at an initial level.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
और कोई स्टूडेंट्स जो अपना क्वेश्चन रखना चाहें?
सर मैं कुछ स्टूडेंट के साइड से क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता हूँ?
बिल्कुल
जी बिल्कुल पूछिए.
एक्चुअली स्टूडेंट्स के साथ प्रॉब्लम ये रहती है कि स्टूडेंट्स जो भी रिज्यूम बनाते हैं तो उसमें वो लोग अपनी फैमिली या फैमिली प्रोफाइल शो करते थे कि माय फादर नेम, आई थिंक ये नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि कोई कंपनी होती है तो वो शायद हमारा सिर्फ स्किल्स मांगती है। तो रिज्यूमे में सर फैमिली इंफॉर्मेशन रखना जरूरी है क्या?
जी एब्सोल्युटली, आपने एक बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल पूछा और इसीलिए मैंने एक स्लाइड में पूरा रिज्यूमे रखा और मैंने बताया कि रिज्यूमे कैसा होना चाहिए। और जिस तरह का रिज्यूमे मैंने स्लाइड पे रखा, मेरा रिज्यूमे भी कुछ उसी तरह का है। और मैं रिकमेंड करूंगा स्टूडेंट्स को कि रिज्यूमे जो है वो स्किल्स और प्रोजेक्ट्स पे फोकस होना चाहिए। अभी आपके इंजीनियरिंग में जो माइनर और मेजर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, they are very important because they are the areas which would be analyzed by the recruiters। और जो स्किल्स जो मैंने जो बताई हैं स्लाइड्स में, आप उन स्किल्स को पढ़िए और एक चेकलिस्ट बनाइए। चेकलिस्ट बना के आप रोज 1 घंटा करके आप एक साल में, 1 साल तो बहुत ही काफी समय है, आप 2 से 3 महीनों में काफी स्किल्स इजीली सीख सकते हैं। और इतनी स्किल्स हो सकती हैं जो कि आप अपने रिज्यूमे में डाल सकते हैं। क्योंकि naukri.com या monster.com पे जब रिक्रूटर्स जब फ्रेशर्स को सर्च करते हैं इंटरव्यू इनवाइट के लिए, they do not search the candidates by their name, they only search the candidates by their skills। So that is the reason why the skills are pretty important for anyone to look at।
Okay, thank you. Any students, anyone can ask questions quickly because time is going on. It's just 6:36 minutes left. So anyone can ask.
Feel free to ask. As I said, there is no question which is silly। You can ask any question that you have।
I think सौरभ सर आपने पीपीटी इतना अच्छा डिजाइन किया था कि आई थिंक स्टूडेंट को पूरा रोड मैप क्लियर हो गया है। सो बहुत इजी वे में आपने बहुत अच्छी सी बात बताई है कि किस तरीके से एक स्टूडेंट को बिगनर से एडवांस लेवल पे ग्रो करने के लिए क्या रोड मैप चाहिए। तो आई थिंक दिस इज अ ग्रेट इन्फॉर्मेशन टू अस।
और सौरभ सर, सौरभ जी, मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि जैसे मोबाइल नंबर तो नहीं, लेकिन मेल आईडी की आप शेयर कर सकते हैं बच्चों के साथ। तो ये कभी भी इनके पास कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है तो आपको मेल के माध्यम से बच्चे जानकारी ले सकते हैं।
जी सर, सो मैं अपनी यहाँ पे
मोबाइल नंबर मैं नहीं चाहूंगा शेयर करें, लेकिन मेल आईडी यदि आप शेयर कर दें तो बच्चे कभी भी आपसे टच कर सकते हैं आपको।
So mail ID or any social media handle just to contact you for in future।
जी जी बिल्कुल,
मैं तो रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहिए ना आपको अंशुल सौरभ जी से।
Sorry sir, sorry sir।
And Sourabh sir, if you don't mind, and can you please share your PPT also?
Yes, so I have already shared this PPT in the chat। आप सभी देखिए कि आप वो PPT एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं।
Yes sir।
Okay, that's good। और मैंने PPT शेयर कर दी है, आप देख सकते हैं। एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर दिस PPT would help you to get into the IT industry। And I have also shared my email and the LinkedIn profile in case if somebody want to see how one should represent himself or herself in terms of skills, they can also have a look at this profile।
ठीक है नितिन सर, अभी टाइम कितना है?
Sir, it's just 4 minutes left. So I think this was very important for us, and you told it so very in simple way. I think this would have given us students a lot of benefits. So, and your PPT is a great roadmap for a new students. So I think this information is really great. And thanks to Sourabh sir.
Yeah, so thank you so much, and let me just in last 3 to 4 minutes, let me just share my experiences with you all। So I happen to be the student from VNS, just like you all। I also happen to be one of the student, and under the all the motivation and guidance of Professor Pandey sir. I was very fortunate to be one of his student, and Professor Pandey sir, Renu madam, Spooty madam, Vijaya madam, Swami sir, and all the distinguished professors and lecturers. I am pretty thankful to them. The part of my success today goes to them. So it's my sincere thanks to all of them. And that's it I want to say. Pandey sir is here, so thank you sir.
थैंक यू सौरभ। और हम चाहेंगे कि अभी जब लॉकडाउन खत्म हो और कभी आप भोपाल आए तो अपन टच में रहेंगे ही, और बच्चे का कॉलेज बच्चों का आना चालू हो जाए तो फिर आपका एक टॉक 1 घंटे का अपन कॉलेज में भी रखेंगे, है ना, जब भी आप भोपाल आएंगे घर अपने, है ना। और थैंक यू वेरी मच सौरभ, आपने हमारे बच्चों को मोटिवेट किया और आगे के लिए उनको करियर कैसे बनाना है मार्गदर्शन दिया। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you sir, thanks everyone, have a nice day, best wishes।
थैंक यू।